Hey, welcome to another video here on Lissa's Raw Food Romance. My name is Lissa, and I've been following a raw diet for over 10 years now. Today, I'd like to chat about at-home testing. Some tests that I think can be beneficial and some tests that we do ourselves. So let's dive into that in this video. Thank you so much for joining me today for this video. If you like videos like this, don't forget to click like, and you know what to do. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and go to the description box below where all the links live for all the goodies. We've got the Raw Food Romance online community. We have the Raw Food Romance ebooks. So the wraps, the burgers, the tacos, all of those are 40% off with code RAWFOOD40. The meal planning app and the Amazon print versions, all of that is all down below. So go check it out if you need some Raw Food Romance resources to help you add more raw food to your life. And let's chat a little bit about at-home testing. So I want to start this video by saying I am not a doctor. I am just sharing the tests that we think are pretty cool and that can give you a little bit more insight as to what might be going on in your body. So obviously, the blood testing is a really great idea to get a full panel and learn about your body. It's not a bad thing to get testing done if you're interested and fascinated by what's going on in your body. I personally don't think it's a great idea to just assume everything is okay, but to get a test just to be sure and just to be curious about what's going on. So I think that it is a good idea to do some testing every once in a while, just to make sure everything's going well. And so for at-home testing, there are a few tests that we think are pretty cool and that we have done a few of them and some that we are looking to do in the future. So the first one would obviously be my favorite test of all would be the Ombre Lab microbiome test. So the Ombre Lab microbiome test, Nate and I have been testing twice a year ever since 2021. We are going to be moving to once a year testing just because we've reached a level where we are comfortable. We don't need to test twice a year. It was just really fascinating in the beginning days when we started testing to just see what our food choices were doing to our microbiome and how the changes happened over the years. But now we're just doing once a year testing just to make sure we're still on point. And because, again, I don't test because I'm worried or because I have fear. I test because I'm genuinely super curious and fascinated with what's going on in my body. I want to know these things just for fun and for curiosity's sake. So the microbiome test is very easy to use. You just order it. They ship it to you in the morning. You take a poo and you take a little sample, a rice-sized sample of your stool. Make sure that it doesn't touch anything like TMI here, but catch it in a little bit of tissue. Don't let it sit in the toilet water because you don't want it to be contaminated with other bacteria. So take just a little rice-sized sample, mix it in the liquid, send it off, and then within 2 or 3 weeks, you get your test results via email. And then you can log in and you can see the analysis, you can download the files, you can upload them to biomesite.com. And again, all the links for all the tests and all the stuff and everything is down below. So if you need further clarification for links, check out down below for all of those goodies. But yeah, you can see, what you might need to work on. Maybe you need to work on building Roseburia bacteria that make butyrate, for example, or maybe you need to work on balancing out the pathogens. Maybe you need to consume more alliums, more garlic, or whatever it is. You can get a much better picture of, a little bit of tweaks that you can do to further enhance and improve your microbiome. So that would be our favorite test. The second favorite test that we really like is the Omega Quant omega-3 test. And this is really good for vegans and anyone really to test your omega-3 intake and see what it looks like in your body. So taking this test can give you a good snapshot of what your omega-3 intake is looking like. And it'll give you a little motivation to maybe increase your omega-3 intake, your chia, your flax, and decrease your omega-6 intake, like from everything else that we love, like cashews and avocados and coconuts and almonds and peanuts. Those are all very high in the omega-3 to 6 ratio. So we're getting way too many sixes and not enough threes. So it's a good idea to test and see where you're at. Where do you sit at? What do you need to tweak and work on? So Omega Quant is an at-home test. You just prick your finger and drop the blood on the little the little thing that they give you and then ship it off. And then they email you your test results, which is really nice. You don't need a doctor to do any of these. But again, I will stress, always talk to your healthcare practitioner if you are getting testing done, and have a conversation with them, because they're the best ones to have this conversation with, obviously. I'm just sharing tests that we think are cool and we've been having fun with, and that we want to do in the future. Speaking of want to do in the future, there is an at-home test for hormones. And now I haven't dug into this one as much. It's called Dutch. It's a Dutch Plus is the one that I am looking at potentially doing. It is a little bit more expensive. And like I said, I haven't done too much research on it, but I have a friend who's very, very, very excited to try this test. She's a nurse and she suggested it to me. And I think I might get that test done sooner than later because I want to monitor my hormones as I move through perimenopause and menopause. I just want to see. Again, I do this because I'm fascinated and I'd love to see what's going on in my body based on how I'm eating and what I'm doing. Does my sleep improve the test? Does my exercise improve the test? Like, all of these things are really things that I'm interested in. So the Dutch test is a hormone test. I think that's going to be a really beneficial one, and I'll keep you guys posted when I do that. And then there's Routine, Rootine. Again, links down below. They have a cortisol test and a DNA test that can help you see if you have issues with like methylation or absorption based on your genetics, which is really super cool. And the cortisol test shows you your cortisol levels and things like that. They're a really cool company. They also have a quick test. If you didn't want to go and do like a standard blood test and you just wanted to know your B12 and your D and your C-reactive protein, and I believe your homocysteine levels as well. They do tests for a couple things, not a whole panel, but it's a really nice little snapshot to see, like, how's my D3 going? How's my B12 going? How is my C-reactive protein going? So you can test for this as well. Again, an at-home test. You just prick your finger, you get the blood on the little papers and you send that off, and then they'll send you the test results as well. So those are some at-home tests that we think are cool. Again, the cortisol, the DNA, and the Dutch hormone test are the three that we have not done. We have done the Ombre Lab microbiome test, the Omega Quant, and the Routine quick blood test. So those are all really super cool options. If you're interested, again, talk with your healthcare practitioner, get the testing that you need to get done, and learn a little bit more about your body. Something else is not an at-home test, but we really like getting these tests probably every 2 years or so, is a Dexa scan. And they're a little bit more expensive. I think here in Vegas, they're close to $200 for a Dexa scan, but they scan for like body fat percentage, visceral fat, and bone density. That's what I'm most interested in. As a woman moving into perimenopause and menopause eventually one of these years, I want to be aware of my bone density and make sure that I stay on top of that. So bone density is really important. The Dexa scan can show what your bone density is. And if it is on the lower side, then you can start to take action and change certain things in your life to start increasing your bone density or lowering your visceral fat or whatever it is that you need to work on. It's really nice to get a snapshot and see where you're at, make some improvements, test again, and just have fun with it. Again, this is not meant to be like a fearful thing or a have to thing. You don't have to test, but I also don't want to assume that everything's okay. I feel great. I don't feel like I necessarily need to test, but I like to test because I like to play games with myself, and I like to see, like, how can I improve? What can I tweak? What can I change? What can I do better? And it's just fun for me to do that. So hope this helps anybody out there. If you've been looking for something like this, talk to your healthcare practitioner, of course, and check out all the links below for all of the testing that I mention in this video. So thank you so much for joining. Also, down in the description box below are the links for all our resources. We have Raw Food Romance resources to help you add more raw food to your life. You can join the Raw Food Romance online community and attend our raw vegan classes. You can also watch replays of past classes like the wrap class, the sushi class, the taco class. Those are all in there for you to watch when you join the community. You can also get 40% off any or all of our raw vegan recipe ebooks with code RAWFOOD40, linked down below, and the meal planning app at rawfoodromance.com, and the link to our print versions that you can find on Amazon. So go check it out. Everything down below where the links go. I love you so much and hope to see you on social media and on our next video coming tomorrow. Until then, fruit on.